It was a quiet Thursday evening, a moment suspended in time where the stillness held an unspoken tension hinting at the stirrings of something deeply felt yet forbidden. The house lay in a hushed embrace, the only sound a gentle whisper of the dishwasher's hum echoing through the stillness of the kitchen. As I sat on the couch folding laundry, a sense of longing washed over me, filling the quiet space while I awaited my husband's return from work. Liam, my son, had just returned home from his part-time job, a moment filled with unspoken emotions and the weight of uncharted feelings. He had recently begun to embrace the twilight hours, pouring his heart into work to gather the funds needed for his impending journey into academia. At 22, he had blossomed into a self-assured young man, echoing his father's essence in countless ways, yet diverging in others that made him uniquely himself. His presence ignited a spark within the walls of the house, and today was no exception. "Hey, Mom, how are you feeling?" He entered the living room, a spark of anticipation in his eyes, and let his keys fall onto the coffee table with a casual flick of his wrist. A smile crept across my face. Indeed, I'm nearing the end of this moment. "Are you craving something?" The thought of beginning dinner soon fills me with a mix of anticipation and longing. He let out a soft sigh, a flicker of something deeper passing through his eyes. "I suppose I could indulge in something to eat. Will Dad be back home shortly?" I stood motionless, my hands suspended above the fabric, caught in a moment of longing. "Yes, he'll be back in about an hour," I replied, my voice betraying a hint of urgency. The way I responded seemed to spark something deep within Liam, igniting a flicker of intrigue that lingered in the air between us. His gaze pierced through me, a subtle tension in his brow, as if he were attempting to unravel the secrets hidden within my thoughts. I averted my gaze, feigning interest in the garments that surrounded me. "Is everything all right?" he inquired, his voice light yet tinged with a deeper worry that lingered beneath the surface. I masked my true feelings with a smile. "Absolutely, darling. How could it be anything else?" Yet as the words left my lips, an undeniable tension lingered heavy with the unsaid emotions swirling around us. There was an unnameable pull, a truth I hesitated to confront. Liam settled onto the edge of the couch, his proximity sending a ripple of unexpected warmth through me. His presence wrapped around me like a warm embrace, yet it stirred a tempest of unease within my heart. A palpable tension enveloped me, a subtle yet insistent pressure intensifying with each fleeting moment. As we lingered in that moment, I couldn't help but reflect on Liam's transformation, the swift passage of time stirring something deep within me. It felt like a fleeting moment when he was just a boy darting through the halls brimming with curiosity and vitality. Yet here, he stood, a man transformed, exuding confidence and self-assurance, growing ever more distant from the boy I once nurtured. "Are you really all right, Mom?" he inquired once more, his tone gentler, now laced with a deeper worry. As I gazed up at him, our eyes locked in a moment charged with unspoken longing. In his gaze, I felt a stirring that echoed the swift passage of time and the depth of unspoken longing. It awakened a haunting blend of longing and unease within me. The uncertainty enveloped me, and it filled me with a deep sense of fear. "It's nothing," I murmured, rising, suddenly attempting to dispel the unsettling sensation that had enveloped me. As I turned to begin dinner, the weight of his gaze clung to me, igniting a spark of something unspoken and thrilling. An unspoken shift lingered in the air between us, a delicate tension that both thrilled and terrified, yet remained unrecognized by either of us. In the kitchen, I attempted to immerse myself in the act of cooking, yearning for the comfort of routine to soothe the tumult within me. Each tick of the clock felt like a heartbeat, a reminder of the longing that stirred within me as I awaited my husband's return. It was peculiar, yet I couldn't help but long for him to resist. There was an undeniable pull within me, an urge to linger in this serene moment with Liam, to savor the unspoken connection that hung in the air. He drifted into the kitchen, moments later, his presence a magnetic pull as he leaned against the counter, watching me stir the sauce on the stove. His gaze lingered on me, charged with an intensity that felt both thrilling and dangerous. His gaze held a fervor that sent my heart into a wild flutter. "Are you seeking assistance?" he inquired, his voice soft and laced with uncertainty. I swiftly turned my head away, a rush of conflicting feelings swirling within me. "No, I appreciate it, but I'm all set, thank you." Yet as the words left my lips, I sensed the familiar tension rising once more, saturating the space that separated us. I found myself lost, grappling with the tumultuous emotions that surged within me, unable to decipher their meaning. I was his mother, and yet I found myself stealing another glance at the clock, a flutter of tension tightening in my stomach. My husband would be returning shortly. Liam, would you dare? Before I could complete my thought, he moved in, invading my space in a way that sent shivers down my spine. His hand grazed against mine, a fleeting touch that ignited a spark of longing. I recoiled in an instant, a rush of discomfort flooding me at the unexpected intimacy. A jolt surged within me at the contact, and I instinctively withdrew my hand, taken aback by the overwhelming sensation. "Mother." His voice was a gentle whisper, laced with a deep sense of care. "Are you feeling all right?" I gazed up at him, my heart racing wildly within me. I found myself at a loss for words. Words eluded me as I grappled with the intensity of my emotions. I found myself lost in a whirlwind of feelings I couldn't quite grasp. "I'm fine," I whispered, my voice trembling with unspoken longing. "Just weary, that's all." Yet deep down, I understood it transcended mere surface feelings. A palpable change lingered in the air between us, an undeniable force I found impossible to overlook. The atmosphere was heavy with silent yearnings, hidden emotions, and the burden of it all felt overwhelming. I faced the stove, yearning to immerse myself in the mundane, to escape the electric pull that crackled in the air between us. My husband would be returning shortly. Wouldn't everything just fall back into place as if nothing had ever changed? Yet beneath the surface, I sensed that everything had shifted into a realm of the extraordinary. The dinner table was enveloped in a heavy silence, an unsettling stillness that lingered in the air. Liam and I sat across from each other at the dining table, the silence enveloping us heavy with unspoken words and lingering glances that ignited a tension we both felt but dared not acknowledge. I attempted to immerse myself in the delicate sound of forks clinking, the gentle hum of the refrigerator, anything to divert my attention from the palpable tension that intensified with each fleeting moment. My eyes drifted to the clock, a silent witness to the moments that hung heavy in the air. My husband should have returned by now, and the weight of anticipation hangs heavily in the air. Yet he remained elusive, a shadow in the depths of my longing. The hour grew late, and the silence enveloping Liam and me felt heavy, charged with unspoken longing. "Did you have a conversation with Dad today?" Liam's voice pierced the stillness, a spark igniting the air between them. His voice carried a nonchalance, yet beneath the surface there was an undercurrent that sent my heart racing. I nodded, my heart racing, overwhelmed by the weight of unspoken words that threatened to escape my lips. He promised to return by 8, and I responded with a sense of relief, though my voice betrayed the tumult of emotions swirling within me. "But you understand how life can be perhaps caught in the chaos of the everyday." Liam reclined in his chair, his gaze piercing through me as if searching for something hidden beneath the surface. His eyes were locked onto mine, and the intensity of his gaze enveloped me. There was an unsettling intensity in his gaze, as if he were peeling back layers of my soul, searching for secrets I wasn't prepared to reveal. "Mom, is everything all right with you?" He inquired once more, as if caught in an endless loop of longing that night. I masked my true feelings with a fragile smile, a subtle shake of my head betraying the turmoil within. "I assure you, Liam, I'm truly okay." Yet deep down, I was far from okay. Since that moment, I've been adrift, caught in the intensity of his gaze that held mine just a heartbeat too long. There was an undeniable connection, a truth we both hesitated to acknowledge. Yet it lingered in the air between us, palpable and electric. The vibration of my phone against the counter shattered the heavy silence, stirring something deep within me. I leaped to my feet, a surge of gratitude washing over me for the unexpected diversion, a message from my husband delayed in his return. "Don't hold your breath for my return." I set the phone aside, a whirlwind of emotions churning within me. He lingered in the shadows far from the warmth of home, as if drawn by an irresistible force that kept him away. "It seems like Dad won't be returning, Will." Liam inquired, his tone gentle, as if he was already aware of what lay beneath the surface. I turned away, overwhelmed by the weight of my thoughts. "No, he's running late," I said, my voice betraying a hint of longing, yet the words lingered imbued with a weight that transcended their surface simplicity. Liam nodded slowly, his gaze locked in an unspoken connection that stirred something deep within. The room seemed to close in around us, the atmosphere heavy with the unspoken truths that lingered between us. As Liam rose to his feet and approached me, a rush of unspoken feelings enveloped the air between us. It seems we have the space to explore our hidden feelings for a while. What a wave of awareness washed over me, intensifying the closeness that lingered in the air, a palpable tension that stirred something deep within. He lingered in my space, his gaze probing deep into my soul, for a truth I was reluctant to reveal. "Yeah, I suppose so," I murmured softly, my voice barely rising above a whisper. In that moment, time seemed to hold its breath, the silence enveloping me like a heavy shroud, palpable and suffocating. In that fleeting moment, as words hung unspoken in the air, Liam's fingers intertwined with mine, igniting a spark that sent shivers down my spine. I stood still, caught in the moment. The touch held a semblance of innocence, yet the gentle glide of his thumb across my skin ignited a thrill that coursed through me, awakening something deep and unspoken. My breath hitched as I gazed up at him, struggling to maintain my poise, attempting to dismiss the wild thrum of my heart echoing in my chest. "Mom," he whispered, his voice laced with an unspoken longing that stirred something deep within me. "There's something I must share with you." I withdrew my hand in a rush, my heart racing wildly within my chest. "Liam, we shouldn't," I began, but the words caught in my throat, heavy with unspoken longing. The words lingered in the air, charged with a weight that made them almost forbidden to utter. He moved in closer, his gaze locked onto mine, igniting a spark that felt both thrilling and dangerous. "Mom, there's this stirring within me that I can't quite shake off. There's something stirring within me, a pull that feels both thrilling and dangerous. I believe it's time for us to share our truths openly." I hesitated, my thoughts urging me to retreat, yet my body remained paralyzed, caught in the magnetic pull of the moment. My heart raced, the gravity of his words enveloping me. He was right. The sensation coursed through me, undeniable and intense. The palpable, unacknowledged energy that had been simmering between us for weeks, yet I found myself unable to let it escalate any further. "Liam, we must pause and reflect on what we're feeling. Our bond feels tangled, and the words between us seem to slip away, leaving us in a space where understanding eludes us. Liam's gaze turned tender, and for a fleeting instant I glimpsed the child he once was. The child who would rush to my side with tears over scraped knees, the one who filled the night with endless questions before drifting off to sleep. But that innocent boy had vanished, leaving only the man who stood before me now. His words lingered softly in the air, yet a whirlwind of confusion swirled within me. It seems we both crave a moment apart to untangle our thoughts and emotions. The atmosphere surrounding us was thick, pulsating, with an intensity that left us both breathless and uncertain of how to navigate it. My heart raced, pounding fiercely within my chest as I searched his face for any hint that this was merely a misunderstanding. Yet the intensity in his eyes left no room for doubt. I turned away, my heart racing as I distanced myself from him once more. "Oh, Liam, we mustn't. This feels so wrong, my dear child. I care for you deeply, but not in the way your heart is yearning for, not in the way you might imagine." His gaze met mine, a flicker of pain crossing his features, yet he remained rooted in place. "I can't bear the thought of losing you," he murmured, his voice laced with longing. His voice trembled with an aching longing. I promised him softly, my words trembling in the air between us. Yet we must put an end to this before it spirals beyond our control. The stillness that enveloped us was heavy laden with unspoken truths and unfulfilled longings, heavy with the unspoken truths that lingered between us. I longed to extend my hand to soothe him as I once did in his youth, yet I found myself unable to do so, not in this moment, not after the weight of our recent words hung between us. After a long pause, I finally spoke, my voice trembling with uncertainty. "I think we need some space. Perhaps a brief return to the halls of learning could awaken something deep within you, stirring feelings long buried and igniting a spark of passion once more." Liam remained silent, his gaze fixed on me, a storm of emotions swirling behind his inscrutable expression. In that moment, after what seemed like an endless stretch of time, he finally gave a slow, deliberate nod. "Indeed," he murmured, "perhaps you hold the truth." The following morning, an unsettling stillness enveloped the house. Rest eluded me as I lay awake, consumed by the haunting memories of the night, each moment echoing in my thoughts like a forbidden melody that refused to fade. It was bewildering how swiftly everything had unraveled, leading us to a destination I never imagined we would reach. As I emerged from the cocoon of my sheets, I caught sight of Liam at the kitchen table, lost in thought. His gaze fixed on the swirling depths of his coffee cup. His bags lay ready, a silent testament to the choices that lingered in the air, waiting for a moment that felt both thrilling and forbidden. A wave of sorrow washed over me. In the stillness of the morning, I found myself sitting in silence, attempting to project a sense of normalcy, even as I grappled with the uncertainty of what that truly meant for me now. "Good morning, Mom." Liam murmured, his voice laced with a tender, haunting distance. He remained focused on the ground, and the distance between us grew thick with unspoken tension. I lingered in that moment, caught in a whirlwind of unspoken feelings, grappling with the weight of my silence. Everything felt achingly out of place. The atmosphere surrounding us crackled with the weight of unexpressed feelings and lingering tensions that had accumulated in the silence of recent days. I longed to assure him that all would be well, that we could return to the simplicity of our past, yet within my heart I understood that such a return was beyond reach. After a heavy pause, Liam finally looked into my eyes and said, "I'm going to head back to school today." His gaze held a profound sorrow that was unfamiliar to me, and it pierced through my heart. I nodded slowly, battling the storm of feelings within me. "Perhaps that's for the best," I murmured, my voice trembling with unspoken longing. He rose to his feet, moving towards his bags, yet just as he was about to depart, he paused and turned back to me once more. "Mom," he started, pausing, as if grappling with the weight of unspoken feelings. "I regret all that has transpired. It was never my intention to create any unease between us. I simply—" His voice faded into silence, and I could sense the turmoil swirling within his gaze. I choked back the emotions, struggling to keep the tears at bay. "It's all right, Liam," I whispered softly, even as uncertainty lingered in my heart. "Everything will work out. We find ourselves in a moment where distance feels necessary." He nodded, yet his eyes betrayed a lingering doubt. The air was thick with unspoken words as he lingered in the moment, the weight of his bags heavy in his hands, before he finally turned and walked toward the door, leaving behind a world filled with longing. As I watched him walk away, a profound ache settled in my chest, as if the fragile bond we shared had been shattered beyond repair. In that fleeting moment before departure, he paused, casting a lingering glance over his shoulder, as if the weight of unspoken feelings tethered him to the spot. "I love you, Mom," he whispered, his voice tender, imbued with a deep yearning sincerity. "I love you too, Liam," I whispered, my voice quivering with unspoken longing. "Forever." And then in an instant he vanished from my life. The house echoed with a profound emptiness, each corner steeped in a silence that weighed heavily on the heart. I lingered by the door, lost in thought, grappling with the whirlwind of emotions that had unfolded. But understand, Liam, the depths of my struggle. The air was thick with an unspoken tension, a shift that lingered between us, marking a point of no return. I filled the hours with tasks, scrubbing surfaces and sorting through forgotten corners, desperately seeking to drown out the tumultuous emotions that threatened to consume me. Yet everything fell short. In the stillness, the weight of unspoken longings became unbearable. Each pause drew me back to that fateful instant in the kitchen when Liam's hand had brushed against mine, marking the turning point of everything. That night, my husband returned at last. He brushed his lips against my cheek, inquiring softly about my day, then sank into the couch as if the weight of the world had vanished. He remained blissfully unaware of the tempest of longing that simmered just out of sight. I yearned to share my truth with him, to lay bare my soul, yet the words remained trapped within me, unspoken and heavy. The burden of what nearly transpired loomed large, a secret too profound and shameful to utter. Instead, I retreated to my room, leaving him alone in the dim light of the television, the air thick with unspoken tension. As I lay enveloped in the shadows, the haunting echoes of the past few days swirled relentlessly in my thoughts. I attempted to persuade myself that it was merely a figment of my imagination, that the electric connection between Liam and me was simply a result of my own overanalysis. Yet deep down, I understood that this was far from reality. A transformation had occurred, and retreat was no longer an option. We had grown apart in our feelings, and that chasm, no matter the cause, was both agonizing and bewildering for us both. As the days melted into weeks, the world continued its relentless march, yet the house echoed with a profound emptiness, a void that only Liam's presence could fill. My husband sensed the shift, but I always dismissed it, claiming it was merely the inevitable ebb and flow of life. As children mature and life shifts around us, a deeper truth lingers within, whispering of something more profound beneath the surface. I reached out to Liam several times, hoping to connect, but his responses felt cold and detached, leaving me yearning for something more. I held back, sensing that we both craved the space to explore our feelings in silence. As the days unfolded, I clung to the hope that this separation would bring us the insight we desperately sought, that the distance might illuminate a path forward. Yet deep down, I grappled with the unsettling uncertainty of whether we could truly escape the shadows of our entangled hearts. The bond that should have been straightforward and innocent had morphed into a tangled web of emotions, a reality neither of us had foreseen. Despite my longing to return to the simplicity of our past, an undeniable truth lingered within me. The transformation in our connection had irrevocably altered the essence of who we were. Thank you for being a part of my journey and embracing the depths of my tale. Make sure to subscribe for more captivating content like this.